Hello, and the day will continue with Light My Way. Nobody's out this early in the morning. The hallways are empty, although in less than an hour there will be no room to walk through here. I lift my eyes from the marble floor and notice a wolf with a big stack of folders in his arms. Hey, what's out? The wolf swerves and hits the wall next to him, avoiding me at the last second. It's the clerk from the desk when I signed up. Oh, my friend, I'm sorry. I was way too lost in thought. Let me help you with those. I would think having those sunglasses on doesn't help either. I'm so sorry. Can I help you carry those anywhere? I'm Lucen, by the way. Lucen Lopez. I remember you with those sunglasses, actually. The one who complained about the roommate on day one, right? I'm Kieran Cliffs. I don't need help. But if you want to join me on a walk, that's okay too. I nod as we finish picking up the folders and start walking. Where are you heading so early in the morning? This entire pile of folders here is for each class for the sports wing for next week. That's just for next week? It's for the elites. Everyone else gets their schedules from their class master or from the Kieran app. Why don't they go through the class masters during classes then? It seems unnecessary to hand out folders to each individual elite. It's actually quite important. There's a different rating system for elites. The council changes their practice intensity based on the results they have after each week. If they're doing great, they are pushed harder. If they're slacking off, they are given less demanding challenges. So I need to deliver updated schedules on a weekly basis. Isn't that counterintuitive? About the slackers, why wouldn't they push them harder? When you are an elite and you get offered low-level routines, be it in mathematics or tennis, you should feel like a failure, or you will embrace it, continue slacking off, and lose your elite status. Once gone, you can't get it back. That's tough. They all knew what they signed up for. The council pushes each student to reach their full potential. It's a good system. I notice this light, although it's almost clear. I can see it better now that we're walking in silence. It's plain. He's the first folk I've seen that is close to normal, if normal is a thing anyway. No sign, no shimmer, no circles, spikes, anything. It's the contour of his body, like a shallow, watery, invisible ink. I know he has a light, but it's transparent, quite peculiar. But I also feel like I could not wear my sunglasses around him. What a dream. So what do you do with the folders? Do you knock on each door in the arcs? Oh no. Each elite has a post box for this. Once we're there, you'll see the names of each elite in the main hall. You can put a few folders in as well, if you like. I'm supposed to do that, but I have a feeling you'll do just fine. I almost knocked you over. You trust me to hand out elite folders? You mess up the name, they'll change it between themselves. So don't need to worry. They also get this folder through the Kieran Elite app. They get it in paper form too because of legal reasons. Alright, seems easy enough anyway. I just have to match the name of the folder with the one on the post box. Got it. The sports wing should be where Atlas is, but I'm sure he's not awake right now. Kieran shows me how he puts the folders in. I follow suit. I go ahead and slip in each file through the tiny slits of the post boxes, checking each name to be sure I don't mess up. Fabian Gennara. Haven't seen him in a while. Kieran, this folder isn't going in. The student must have left the previous folders in there and used his app, but it's odd that his box is so full. I'll go ask if I can get the master key to clean it up. I know who this is. He's a friend. I'm not surprised. It's not surprising he's left such a mess. The wolf pulls out his tablet and starts tapping. What's going on with Fabian? Darius hasn't mentioned him these past weeks, and it's been a while since I've last seen him. Someone will come here with a master key and open his box so we can clean it up. Shouldn't you get ready for your class though? I need to head out, yeah. I hope I made up for my absent-mindedness from earlier today. Yes, you have. Most people ignore me anyway. You're one of the first who offered to help me. Yes. Don't worry about it. It's one of my duties, and I don't expect anyone else to do it for me. Can I take this folder to my friend? I don't know if that's legal or whatever. I'm supposed to put it in the mailbox, but if you know him, I do. He's on the elite cycling team. The wolf puts a fake inquisitive look for a second, then switches back to his easygoing smile. Sure, I mean, it's not like he didn't get his schedule from his app. I need you to sign this form so that I don't get in trouble if it comes to it. Nothing to worry about, but bureaucracy demands it. I scribbled my signature on a tablet for him after skimming the text. This wolf is nice, but so plain. And that gets to him either way, good or bad. Before leaving the big hall, I turn around and see Kieran and an elder elephant open Fabian's post box. Several folders fall out spread across the floor. Find the rabbit's name on the ground floor, list as Arc 4, and walk up to his room. I knock a few times, but he's not answering. Fabian, are you in there? I have something for you. No movement. It's from the school council. Your folder for the week. The door cracks open. He supported himself with his hand on the door and the wall. What's with his light? It's as if he's losing it, like he's uncharged. But if he were, by some astronomical coincidence like me, I would somehow sense it, I think. What am I even rambling on about? He's a ghost at this point. No wonder his lights faded. Yo, I brought you your folder for next week. How'd you get that? Long story. What's going on with you? You don't look so good. You think? The rabbit points to his swollen ankles. He's got anti-inflammatory knee pads on it as well. It's a rough sight. That looks terrible. Have you been to the medical center? How do you think I got these knee pads? Sorry. Give me the folder. Buzz off. I want to check up on you as well. You chat. Now leave. The rabbit grabs my paw and snatches the folder. I turn to leave, the door slamming in my face, almost smashing my talon. What a prick. As I take a few steps towards the exit, it hits me. He's overwhelmed by everything. This has to be it. His light is dim and more hectic than usual. It's saying something. This is not the time to leave him alone. I turn around and stand in front of the door for a second. Fabian, I'm going to stay here a while in case you need anything. No reply. I also don't want to annoy him more. So it should be okay if I hang out here for 10 minutes or so. Might as well study up on my next class. While reading through my book, I hear Fabian slump to the floor on the other side of the door. His swollen ankles don't leave room for him to bend without hurting, I guess. I don't get why he has to be such an asshole, though. It's not like I'm trying to mess with him. I'm trying to help. He can be such a pain to deal with sometimes. I see the ruby light from under the door, a soft post, but brighter than 10 minutes ago. He's getting better at it, it seems. I need to go back to class now. Do you want to drop by sometime whenever you're in the mood? Darius isn't doing that great, you know. I caught him asleep with a book in his paws at his desk. I get no answer. At least I know he's doing better, judging by the brightness that's coming from under the door. Everybody leaves since I need to cover some distance. Foxy. Yes. See you soon. See you. I leave smiling and thinking he's at least in better spirits now. There's blinding amber light illuminating the stairway as I walk towards it. Must be airless. I turn around and start running, looking for another exit. The light fades away. That tiger must live above Fabian somewhere. I said, have thought about this. They're both elites in the sports arc. I grab my phone from my pocket and check what the vibrating is about. Shoot, I forgot about my appointment at the infirmary. It's today. This is bad. I need to be there in less than 15 minutes. It doesn't take long to get called in once I reach the infirmary, although I'm gasping for air from all the running I did. The waiting room has plenty of patients, but things are moving fast. Kieran University working as attendant. There's a nurse and, I assume, a member of the Teachers Council inside. Good afternoon, Mr. Lopez. I'm Catherine Refulgence, one of the officials of the Teachers Council and also the headmistress here at the university. Your parents have notified the school of your issue. I'm here to oversee your appointment and find a possible solution to your problem. Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity for this test. I'm polite about this, although it irks me to go through yet another "we don't know what's wrong with your eyes" test. But they're offering, and it will be rude to decline since my parents already set this up for me. We go through the same old motions I know all too well. I take my sunglasses off and ask them to turn down the lights. The nurse does that, but as usual, that's not helping one bit since that's not the actual problem. We're three folk in this exam room, and I don't have my glasses on. That's enough light to give me a headache for weeks. I try squinting my eyes, and although it's almost pitch black inside this room, I can't keep them open for longer than a few seconds. Are you alright, Mr. Lopez? No, I'm not. I have a strong sensitivity to light, as my parents must have mentioned it. As I mentioned, and it's difficult for me to keep my eyes open without my sunglasses. But there's almost no light in here. What a waste of time. I have better things to do right now. I'm sorry, but I'm getting a headache. Can we end the test? I put my glasses back on and look at the nurse. Can I have some pain relievers and go? How can you even see through those glasses now? The panther stares me down, curious, but annoyed at my reflex to grab my sunglasses. Let's try this again. Can you please take off your sunglasses one more time? I'm going to tap a hole with my claw in this chair if we don't finish up soon. It's useless to bother with this, but the panther smiles at me, motioning to take off my sunglasses. Fine, she's trying to help. Of course. Why are the lights running away? What's going on? Can you look through the scope and tell me what you see? I'm panicking out of my mind. Chills are going down my spine as I can see without a shadow of a doubt. No light around this Miss Refulgence. None, zero. All I see in the infirmary are the lights of two folk, mine and the nurse. Or was it three at first? Can she turn it on or off? What's the deal with this panther? I'm babbling. My thoughts are racing. I clutch my chest like my heart's going to leap out. A panic attack is almost here, judged by the deep breaths I'm gasping at. This panther is scaring the shit out of me. She leans towards me to adjust the measuring scope for my snout, making me jump back, looking at her in horror. Kieran has a transparent light of sorts, but this Catherine Refulgence, there's nothing around her. I can look at her without my sunglasses. The nurse's light is also dim, as if it was adjusted for me to be at a comfortable intensity. Did I startle you? I'm sorry about that, nurse. Can you go to my office and prepare some tea for Mr. Lopez and water for myself? We need to have a longer chat after the examination is over. The nurse leaves and I find myself alone with the panther. My throat and mouth are dry, but I get a hold of my voice enough to squeak out a few words. What are you? Excuse me? As you can very well see, I'm a panther. That's quite rude of you, Mr. Lopez. That's the thing. I can see well, too well. Like there's nothing wrong with my eyes. Why don't you have a light, an aura, something? The panther turns her head and I see a smile out of the corner of her mouth. Or it's just a pre-unification term. It's called an aspect. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. She heard my exact words, and she replied too. Do you hear what I said? Was my answer not proof enough of that? Mr. Lopez, let's go to my office and have a talk. The tea should be warm by the time we get there. I put on my sunglasses again and followed the Panther out the door, dazed and confused. My mind is scattered into pieces, replaying the last few minutes, second by second. Oh no, each elite has a post box for this. Once we're there, you'll see the names of each elite in the main hall. You can put a few folders in as well, if you like. Her office is fancy. It's more like a study room with how many bookcases there are here. There are weird-looking gadgets on the shelves on the opposite side and big paint on the wall behind her above her desk. Oh, the paintings are moving. I heard that they were developing this at Kieran. I didn't think I would get to see it so soon. Incredible. I need to stop staring and get my set together. But who's in the big painting anyway? It's a portrait of an elderly panther. From what I gather, no idea who that is or was. Maybe some headmistress from many seasons ago. Have a seat. Thank you. I'm able to gather my thoughts a little after that walk. You want to know why I could hear what you said about the aspects? A nod in agreement, cohesive words still failing to come to my mind to form proper responses. The Panther pushes a cup of tea towards me, pointing to a jar of honey. I sweeten my tea and take a sip. It's lukewarm and tasty, as well with a scent of vanilla. I can understand your distress. However, you need to answer at some point. I apologize for my previous reaction. You caught me by surprise. Up to now, I wasn't able to talk to anyone about this. Yes, that is the equalizer at work. Before I can ask what that is, he starts explaining. Nobody knows what the equalizer is or why it stops us from talking about the aspects. We can talk to anyone with knowledge of aspects, but no one else. Writing, recording your own voice. Everything gets jumbled up. You tried it too, I assume. My eyes are like saucers. I'm sure I haven't blinked at all in the last minute or two. I nod again, sipping from this tea that's relaxing me more and more as I drink it. It must be a calming tea. If it were any stronger, I think I would have fallen asleep by now. Wait, what is he's drugging me? Here I am going to an eye test of this random panther when all I calls me in her office for a chat. How naive can I be? Well, I know she could be a maniac who's trying to steal my light. I have always needed light from others. What if she wants all mine? Mr. Lopez, will you care to answer? Maybe you should answer some questions. Who are you? I believe we've already established that. Cut the shit. Who are you? What is your aspect, whatever? Your language is quite inappropriate, Mr. Lopez. As if that's the actual problem here. From my perspective, she's an alien. But if there was any moment in my life when I thought I might be crazy with this light stuff, it's clear I am now. In fact, not hallucinating. This is real, and it's scaring me out of my mind. I'm sorry about that, but you have to understand how everything about this is shocking to me, to say the least. I'm trembling just thinking about it. That someone hears what I'm saying. This is the first time I'm talking about this light stuff for real. Aspect. This is the actual term best describing what you see. Try to use that, please. Okay, what's an aspect then? That's not so easy to explain. As far as we know, it's like an extension of our own self. Imagine wearing a costume of yourself, but in a larger size. So where's yours then? Why can't I see it? If you could, that would indeed be quite a feat. The cockiness exuded from that last sentence is through the roof. Who does she think she is? What I mean is that I, along with a few other distinguished folk, have the benefit of being able not to show it if I don't want to. It's not that my aspect isn't visible because you could see it if I allowed it. I can overlay my aspect on myself, but I can overlay my aspect on myself, so no need to reveal anything to others. I'm quite certain I saw your light. Aspect, aspect. In the February, there were three: mine, the nurses, and yours. You must be mistaken. No, I'm sure of it. I saw three aspects. I was getting a relaxed vibe for a bit, like we were on the same wavelength, but it's been a good minute since my tail's been shivering. Speaking of seeing aspects, I have something for you. I looked with suspicion at the drawer she opened. There are tons of small weird-looking gadgets in it, similar to the ones behind me on the glass cells. The Panther takes out a small box, placing it on the desk in front of me. Open it. What is it? Where's the steward curiosity? The little box seems harmless enough. I sniff at it, which provokes a big laughter from the Panther. She even has tears in her eyes from my reaction. Mr. Lopez, please do calm down. I have no intention of hurting you if that's on your mind. I can open the box for you in case you think it will explode in your face or any other ridiculous nonsense. She laughs again, further embarrassing me. But what should have I done? Take whatever this well-intended strange Panther offers me? On the other part, why would she hurt me? I could have done so if she wanted to already. She could have done so if she wanted to already. I need to put on the brakes on the imaginary TV show scenarios built in my head, but why is my damn tail silver then? I open the box and look inside. There are two transparent contact lenses and a small plastic encasing. I pick them up, the light from the window shining on them. They're gorgeous, moving the senses, and the light shows off every possible color. Fascinating. Why are you showing me these? They're for you. Maybe it's time you leave those sunglasses behind. You are a Ternonian now, therefore entitled to our developing technology. These contact lenses aren't anything new, but they will do what you might be thinking right now. The mood has changed and I let go of my anxiety as if I didn't have it in the first place. A bit weird and I still need to be visited, but things are calmer now. Maybe that tea really was meant only to relax me a little. The moment I saw the contact lenses, I thought of a life where I wouldn't have to wear sunglasses everywhere I went. I'm too excited to even contain it, and as much as I would like to not look like a giddy pup, it's damn near impossible. I'm almost bouncing on the chair while my tail swishes behind me. Wasn't I scared a few minutes ago? Well, not anymore. This is awesome. Oh, do try them on, Mr. Lopez. No need to play it cool. Like a cub opening presents on Grand Unification Day, I take out the contact lenses, look at them mystified. These can fix my problem, seeing the aspects. They should. You are not the first with this issue, although a rare one to be sure. Your way of harnessing aspects is through your vision. Others get it in different ways. Others? There are other equalizers. You must have expected that. Equalizers. That's how we refer to folk who can do what you do. And no, I didn't think there was anyone else like me. How could I possibly know this? Who are they? Are they at Kieran? Can I meet them? Slow down, Mr. Lopez. Yes, there are other equalizers at Kieran. In fact, you've met one already. Darius, Fabian. They both felt strange. I knew it. Kieran Cliffs. Of course, the wolf with the transparent light. Yes, I did. Does he know I'm an equalizer? He should, considering he is my assistant here. It would be disappointing if he didn't. He said there's something called the equalizer stopping me from talking about aspects to anyone else. Yes. In a manner of speaking, you are working for the equalizer, therefore your title. My head hurts from getting all this information at once, a headache from everything from anything else that lights. A headache from anything else than lights. A nice change of pace. What does the equalizer even do? Mr. Lopez, I believe we reached the end of our chat for now. You can't dump all this information and expect me to leave. You do have a class soon. Missing class can lead to expulsion. We wouldn't want that to happen, Mr. Klaus. We'll notify you of our next meeting, which will be soon enough. Have a very productive day. I'll leave him with 1,000,001 questions as he doesn't care. She opens the door to her office and I step out in a complete stupor. I amble towards the exit of the hallway, forcing my brain to comprehend what happened. I check the contact lenses I got gifted. They look normal aside from the beautiful colors they shine in the light. I open my backpack and lower them in with as much care as I can muster. I'm excited about what I learned, although I have so many questions I want to ask Mrs. Refulgence. For starters, the most important one, why me? Why am I this equalizer? Even more so, what is it I am supposed to do with this knowledge, equalizer? Okay, great. Now what? I turn around and pace back to her office. She should tell me what I need to know. What does it matter if I skip one class? I need answers now. As I approach the door and lift my paw to knock, a sinking feeling twists my stomach. Something is telling me I shouldn't do this. Is he making me feel this way? My tail is silver again. What was that thing about her aspect that I couldn't see it? What if she is dangerous after all? This is so frustrating. I want answers, but maybe it's best if I go to class like she told me to. I know more now than I have ever known about this entire aspect thing. Overall, this is a win. And like my dad says, celebrate victories. I'm ditching class and going to my room. Darius shouldn't be there since he's in full-on study mode. All day, every day. I can try out these contact lenses, although I should have done so at the office with Miss Refulgence. She did kick me out before I got the chance, though. They're just contact lenses. How hard can this be? I open the dorm room and see Darius in bed facing the wall. His light is a faint glow, darker than usual. First Fabian, now Darius. Is there something in the air? Hey Darius, why aren't you in class? I could ask you the same thing. The lion's curled up under his blanket, staring at the wall. Are you alright? It is 2 months. I'm exhausted. I cannot continue on my current path. I'm not even an elite, and I cannot keep up. It is unfathomable to me how elites get by. I don't think elites get by. Fabian's not doing well at all. His ankles are swollen and he has anti-inflammatory pads on both knees. The lion turns around, revealing his rare eyes and puffy face. He's been crying, by the looks of it, a whole lot. Fabian is hurt? Yeah, a lot, I'd say. I need to go to him. Why have I not been with him? What is wrong with me? Darius growled those last words. If you don't mind me asking, how do you even know Fabian? No offense, but he seems like the complete opposite of the type of folk I could see you being friends with. He is quite different from me, yes. We met a season ago here at Kieran. When my parents brought me to see the university, Fabian was also here during that time. We were both looking for directions towards the arches. I asked if he was a student here. He replied no, but we will both be soon enough. I thought he had a strong character, so we kept in contact. Once here, as he predicted, things fell into place with him. I thought you knew each other from much longer ago. He used to work with you like there are no limits to what he could say. Come to think of it, he's like that with everyone as far as I've seen. He has a way of saying things that he stops me from my usual overthinking. Probably gets me like others do not. That must feel nice, having someone like that around. Yeah, he does have a way with how he puts things into perspective. More like being a blunt axe in a tree stump, but I suppose there is something to admire about that as well. Anyway, what are you doing here? I do not know what to say. This is usually a phase. I sometimes get overwhelmed, but it goes away after I meditate or take a walk. It is different this time around. You want to move over? The lion looks at me with a straight face, although his eyes betray his desperate need for physical contact. He flips his tear-soaked pillow and scoots over enough for me to lay next to him. I don't wait for him to ask and hug him tight. He bursts into tears not a second later. I'm such a failure. I cannot do this anymore, Lucian. There's no end to how much I have to study to become an elite. Ah, that's why. But why are you doing this? Can't you become a cardinal if you're entry level like me? Darius squeezes me tighter, burying me in his warm fur. I do not expect you to know this, but the best I can hope for after I graduate from Kieran is to be a teacher, if I even get there. Of course, you'll get there, but you don't just want to be a teacher. Only 5 out of hundreds here graduate as cardinals at the end of their studies, 5 elites as well. There's never been one entry-level student in the history of Kieran to become a cardinal after graduating. What if you're the first? I say that, but I feel unsure about it myself. Darius has been studying almost every waking moment since he's been here, and he has most likely prepared for this months, or even years in advance as well. Yet he's lying here, lost and almost broken. Darius? The lion looks at me with tears in his eyes. Why do you want to become a cardinal? His big arms loosen up at my questions. I have always dreamed I would be one. Since I was a cub, my parents always told me I would be one. Well, do you want to be a cardinal, or did your parents want you to be one? The lion clears the tears from his face and gets up from under the covers. Lucian, I'm terribly sorry for my outburst. Honestly, I do not know what came over me. If you would be ever so kind to forget this entire mess, that would be a welcome friendly gesture. I need to get to class now. I look at him, marveling at how easy the switch in his head flipped. He was a crying wreck a moment ago, now a towering statue. But I see who he really is on the inside and how much effort he puts into his sturdy, calm exterior he shows off everywhere he goes. Why don't you want to talk about this stuff? It's only us two. You can say what's on your mind, I won't judge. As I said, best forgotten, excuse me. Darius heads to the bathroom, leaving me disappointed at what transpired. His parents ingrained this attitude into him every choice they got. It's most likely a default setting he goes back to whenever things get out of the ordinary. I expected more from him. Is it part being a cardinal, also looking within, and all that? In the chaos with Darius, I forgot about the lenses. I would need to use the bathroom mirror for this, but I'll try them on here, since Darius must be washing his tear-filled fur in there. If anything goes wrong, I have an excuse to get him out of the bathroom and see how he's doing. The lenses shine their beautiful lights again. I pull one out of its encasing and hover it over one of my eyes. If I drop it, it jumped onto my eye. What the hell is this? It hurts so bad. I grab onto the desk, steadying myself. Alright, I'm fine now. That was scary. Oh, I need that mirror, damn it. I use my phone camera. My eyes look okayish. Somewhat red from the initial shock, but nothing out of the ordinary. After scrolling around from putting in the second lens, I lay on my bed looking around. No difference. I hear the door in the bathroom open. I set my eyes out with pure instinct. When I hear Darius get close, I scrape my eyes open to check the brightness levels. It's amazing. Oh, my fur. This is so liberating. Not only can I look at him, I can see his aspect. There's another line around him. It's like that panther said. The big line looks like Darius. I can't see specific traits, but it's a big, sturdy line, alright? So that's an aspect. Wow. It's a real. Well, real. This is real. It's actually all real. I'm not crazy. I look at my paws and dash to the bathroom, almost knocking Darius over. A fox, 2, 3, 5. There's a lot of boxes around me. These things must be broken. I must have put them in wrong. I'll take them out and try again. What the hell? It's not working. No. They're stuck? Forever. There has to be a way to get them out. Or maybe they need to be calibrated or something. I need to get to Miss Refulgence right now. Darius is standing in front of the bathroom holding my sunglasses in his paw. You're not wearing your sunglasses anymore. How come? I got these new contact lenses from the medical center. They kind of fixed my issues. I never asked about your situation so as not to make you feel self-conscious. What is it that those lenses do? I see his aspect staring at me with a sullen look, and I take a few steps back, feeling the imposing purple line shape. I can't quite make it out in its entirety. It's smiling. That I can make out. I think it's smiling at me. So I smile back. No, wait. No, what would Darius think? God, I'll get another headache if I keep this up. I don't have time to waste. They fix how much brightness reaches my eyes. Listen, Darius, I really have to go now. I'm almost out the door, but I turn around again, stare at the purple wonder that still keeps on smiling at me. I flash a smile and leave. It smiled at me. I had to smile back, otherwise what would my dad think? That might have been rude, but I left without waiting for an answer. I went outside, blazing towards Miss Refulgence's office, although I am almost on all fours. It's taking forever to get there. I cut a corner, bumping straight into Kieran, knocking both of us to the ground. Hey, what's it? Oh, it's you again. Had to be you. Kieran, I'm so sorry. It couldn't be avoided, I guess. Where you headed is just a hurry. The wolf notices my lack of sunglasses and looks at my eyes. So you've been to Miss Refulgence's office. My transparent aspect is crystal clear to me now. I can see all of it in great detail, down to each strand of fur. Why can't I see his aspect? Why can't I see his aspect like this but not Darius's? You're staring. I assume that my aspect looks cool, right? Yeah, it does. There's this intense wolf around him, monitoring the area, looking left and right, as if to alert Kieran of any possible dangers that might be nearby. I'm of no interest to it right now, as it passes me by with a short glare. I need to see Miss Refulgence. There are questions I need answers to right now. That would be impossible since he has left campus, but if you don't mind, what is it that you want to ask her? I could maybe help fill in any gaps. Fill in the gaps. Are you serious? I found out that I'm an equalizer, whatever that means or is. My entire life I thought I was crazy, hallucinating, starting lights around folk. This seems odd. Has your aspect not talked to you at all? What do you... Well, how can I put it simply? When I was a young pup, my aspect spoke to me. It differs from folk to folk, but you get some contact once you are aware of its existence. It's usually along the lines of, don't be scared, this is normal. You have to harness other aspects, otherwise you'll die. Typical stuff for us equalizers. I know he's trying to lighten the mood, but instead, this hits even harder. Everyone who's like me has already been contacted by their aspect, and they knew what was going on. All that said, I had to go through, alone. Well, I can't do anything about that now, so better late than never. I know you're trying to cheer me up, but I went through hell and back already. So I'm not in the best of moods right now. My parents thought I needed professional help. I was babbling about nonsense every time I tried to explain what was going on. Life was not easy with all the non-stop flickering around me. Wolf looks away, struck by what I said. He didn't think about any of this, judging by his reaction. I'm truly sorry about your struggles, Lucian. How can I help? I just want to get to Miss Fulgence. There's no point in going to her office since she's already gone off campus, as I told you. She normally tells me where she's going so I can manage her schedule and notify her of any changes. This time she vanished. Photo just vanished. Well, she's gone right now. Either way, what do you want me to say? There's nothing I can do about it. Do you want to talk to me about whatever you have on your mind? I know a lot too and could help you. He's all I got right now, and I am in no position to decline anything that might help me clear up whatever is going on. This entire situation is getting to me. At first it felt like I could handle it, but now I could explode any second. This is messed up, and although I'm trying to keep myself steady, I'm on the edge about everything. What's the equalizer? Kieran puts on his usual smile. Will you want to go somewhere more private? We can go to my office. It's right next to Miss Fulgence's. Yes, sure. While we walk, I notice Kieran's aspect looking at me. Something I said must have bothered it, or at least made it acknowledge me as someone worth its attention. The sound of our pause on the floor is hammering at me. I keep switching my tail and I notice, but I can't help it. We're almost there. I'll make some tea, okay? Thank you, but no. Water done? We get to his office, which is a door down next to Miss Fulgence's office. Is a quaint little place, and painted on a wall, some shelves with a lot of folders in them, and little miniatures on his desk. The wolf one catches my eye. A wooden brush is carved into a beautiful manner. Kieran notices me staring at it. He opens a small fridge and pulls out a bottle of water. It's sealed, so I know there'll be no funny business. But what if it's already laced somehow and we sealed it? I need to calm down. This paranoia isn't helping, but I don't want to get doped up again and not be able to react when he pushes me out the door like that panther. I know he drugged me, and I won't let that happen again. Maybe I should talk to Darius or Fabian about this. No, they would think I'm insane if all I do is ramble. Have a seat. Thanks. Can you start talking now? There's no need to be pussy. I wanted us to talk in private so nobody looks at us like we're some maniacs plotting to demise our university or something ridiculous like that. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about that. It's cool. So let's start with the equalizer then. I find myself holding my breath for a second, although I only found out today that I am this equalizer thing. It has been an eternity for me not knowing what's going on. I am unsure why Miss Fulgence hasn't told you herself yet, but this is common knowledge for everyone who knows about aspects. I don't think it will be a problem to share this information with you. What you know up to now is that you can see aspects. You can also absorb aspects in order to preserve your lifespan. If you don't, you'll feel exhausted enough to collapse and most likely die. Hearing this being taught out in the open like it's a normal conversation is real. My eyes can't get any wider than this, and he hasn't even told me anything new yet. Equalizers absorb an aspect, but that doesn't mean they consume it. Since you're here, you've done it yourself at least a few times. In most cases, nothing happened to the folk whose aspects you absorbed. They went on with their day oblivious to what you did. Are you following so far? I've been through this a few times, but I didn't notice anything different about the folk, yes. In your case, I don't know what you equalize. I'm getting ahead of myself. An equalizer normalizes someone's feelings expressed in their aspect. Let's take a simple feeling like sadness. You got a bad grade on a test you studied hard for. You're sad about it. Your aspect will then show that off to an equalizer. The equalizer then absorbs that sadness so that it doesn't reach dangerous levels. What happens when someone doesn't do that? Good question. Sadness can develop into various other feelings based on everyone's different personality. Some might start hating each other. Some might start hating their teacher, their work, or themselves. Some might be emboldened to do better next time. Others might quit out of rage. These are all possible scenarios, and the equalizer's job is to regulate those feelings so they don't reach extremes. That doesn't sound too bad. What about other feelings, like happiness or joy? The same applies here too. Really? Why though? Isn't being happy a good thing? Why would anyone take away happiness? Equalize it. Now, equalize it, not take it away. Consider this: a happy person can do a lot of good deeds if their feelings expand into altruism, passion, love, and so on. But what if being happy leads to boisterous actions, recklessness, or excessive behavior? Everyone's different, and we don't know what each folk might do. As equalizers, we need to make sure the feelings of folk around us don't get out of control. This sounds dumb, absurd even. We're effectively taking away folks' intentions. If they're happy or sad, they might do something based on those feelings. But if we take that away, they'll float around with half-assed impulses. Anyway, yes, this is all meant to protect us. From whom? You know what the grand unification is, right? Of course. Who doesn't? What if I told you the grand unification happened because of equalizers like us? He can see my look of shock and surprise, so I'm sure he wanted to hit at the biggest fundamental fact that's like a beacon for every folk out there. Carnivores like me and you ruled over everyone else for hundreds of seasons. By comparison, the grand unification happened about a few hundred years ago. Nobody really knows exactly when it did. We're trying to find solutions for all the damage we've done to our fellow folk. The carnivore war happened because our feelings got the best of us. Our instincts played a big part in that, sure. But we could have done better, should have done better. It is shameful to think about it, although it's been a very long time since the grand unification. Some herbivores still cross the street away from me in the evening or at night. I don't look half as intimidating as Darius or Mr. Fozes, but these fangs are enough to instill nasty memories in some folk. So he's saying equalizers stop carnivores from devouring others? More than that, equalizers took out a part of the fear and hate that the herbivores were feeling at the time. Courage, compassion, and a whole lot more made it possible to get where we are now. Okay, but why are we doing it now? Stradia is a big continent, Lucian, and not everyone is a fan of the grand unification. There have been reports of missing herbivores, but none of them could be pointed to devouring. Extremist carnivores exist, so the possibility is there even if the media isn't talking about it. You're right. I'll stop watching the news anyway because of all the depressing stuff. There aren't enough of us equalizers to manage everything. It's not an easy task, especially in more remote places. We also don't know how many of us are out there either. Some might die before they figure out how things work. You got lucky. Didn't you say an aspect visits each inquisitor? Each equalizer? And I did, yes, but if you're an example of how things can go sometimes, then we have no idea about the actual number of equalizers. Who knows how many died already? The door flings open. Miss Revoltance staring us down, fuming. Kieran gets up from his chair, greeting the Panther. Mr. Revoltance, you're back. Yes, Mr. Cliffs, obviously. Why is Mr. Lopez here? He wanted to see you. He has plenty of questions about equalizers, and I thought That is not your place. You should have understood that since I didn't instruct you to talk to Mr. Lopez. The bush looked straight at the ground as if he wants to crawl under there. I apologize, Mr. Revoltance. It won't happen again. Mr. Lopez, if you follow me, please. I look at Kieran, who keeps staring at the ground as if he was shattered into pieces by the Panther's comments. Once we get to Miss Revosic's office, Kieran comes in with tea, but I push it away and listen to a small smirk from the wolf. Mr. Cliffs, what do you see when you look at Mr. Volpe's aspect? Kieran looks at me, taking his eyes away from the ground for the slightest of seconds. A few aspects, maybe 5 or more. That would be all, thank you. The wolf nods, turns around, and closes the door from the outside. Why do you treat him like that? He was only trying to help me. That's not your concern. You, Mr. 1,000 Fox aspects, should be more worried about yourself. 1,000? Apparently so. Well, why do I have so many? I'm sweating. Trying to act all cool is great and all, but I feel my stomach cramping up every passing second. I don't know what any of this means, but it sure doesn't feel right. We each have one aspect. You have a few too many. You are, by all accounts, a complete. You are, by all accounts, a complete abnormality. The moment I saw you, I knew something was off. When you came here and drank my tea, now the aspects subsided. That is why I left in a hurry to contact my colleagues from Frantulia and Biscore universities. They are the equalizer representatives there. Both will be here shortly to study you. Study me? We need to know everything about your aspects before you can go back to your dorm room. Her tone changed, and I don't have any sense of safety anywhere. If my tail was silvering last time I saw her, it's now still for fear. I want to leave now. That is no longer possible, Mr. Volpez. I advise you to remain seated and not make a fuss. I lunge at the door, trying to open it, but it's locked. Kieran must have done that when he left. I turn around and fill my lungs with air, preparing to scream as loud as I can. He used to try. The panther has always stuck me with a series, and in a few seconds, everything goes black. Well, that went downhill real fast. Okay, so here's the 2 equalizers here. They were big. Okay, so we're going to stop right here. Okay, so that was chapter 3 of Light My Way. Alright, so a ton of information came out of this chapter here. So, the reason why I forgot her name already, but anyway, the reason why the mistress's tune changed so suddenly was the fact that while equalizers have one, I forgot what it's called, but let me go back real quick. Okay, let's go now. It's 1,000 Fox aspects. Okay, so the She said that e- equi- what's it called? Can equalizers anyway. Keep me getting confused over that word. But anyway, equalizers have one aspect, but Lucian here has 1,000. She said. Well, she certainly has more than one. So that raised an alarm. I mean, that has alarmed Mr. Convulsance or Revulgence, I guess. Miss Revulgence. That that caused her to be alarmed by it, and he called the other equalizers from the other universities to come here and study him. So there's something special about Lucian that makes him different from all the other equalizers, and well, the other equalizers, such as the clerk, that wolf clerk he talked to, well, they knew about their equalizers from a young age, and that they had an aspect that guarded them and had their own emotions, and like a second person to them, really guarded them and all that. It looks like Lucian has multiple aspects that he had no idea he had. So it looks like this whole equalizer scenario here is way more normal than what Lucian ever thought. He thought that there was something wrong with him, and that he was the only one who could see this light, and that he was crazy. But it turned out there's other people like him, and the people in the university, the staff and the people in the leadership roles here, they have it too. But his is very special, which could be dangerous based on Miss Volges's reaction. She went from kind of like a stern but hospitable person to a hostile person right away. And I think when he kicked Lucian out of the office, that's when she first became alarmed by what she discovered about Lucian. So we'll see what happens next time with these two guys here from the other universities. So it looks like this school here, here in the university, is the best school I think in the area, in the continent, and it's very strict, and it's bad enough for entry level students, but for elite students, they got the worst. They have to constantly work hard, and they slack off even a little, they're at risk of losing their elite status. And the rabbit Fabian, he has this cool, confident persona, yet when we saw him, he was clearly at a breaking point. His knees were hurting. They were not in the best. I mean, he's not in a good position physically, and he was very upset when Lucian came to his door, and he just wanted to be alone. But after Lucian talked to him some more, that's when Fabian got a little bit more relieved, like stress came out of him, and thanked Lucian basically for being there with him. And Darius, he's also struggling. He's trying to become an elite because he's an entry level student just like Lucian. He's trying to become an elite, but he does his best, but no matter how much he tries, he feels like he can't succeed. And so this curriculum here, this university is getting to the best. I mean, it's getting to the worst of them. Well, you know what I mean. Well, it's getting to both Darius and Fabian, and it's really hard on them. It's taking a toll of them. So, this kind of reminds me of like some certain East Asian countries like China and South Korea and Japan, where they got the most difficult tests, and the culture there in those countries are unrelenting. That you have to try very hard. You got to be the best, and you can't slack off. If you do even, like you could do great and still not get ahead. You got to be at your very best possible. Just go past your limits and just fight to be the best. And the culture here at this university reminds me of the cultures in those Asian countries and others too, but those three countries in Asia were the first to come to my mind. So it's really tough. Alright, so Lucian's not alone here. He's around a lot of people who are equalizers, and so he's not alone. He's not crazy. He's very much sane. So we'll start chapter 4 next time. So thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.